Hello, beautiful, and welcome to the Moms Talks Sex podcast. I'm your host, Maura Yelvington of Morph Transform Your Reality, where I help women step out of trauma and reclaim their power. I'm so happy to have you here for this open conversation about moms, sex, motherhood, children, relationships, marriage, and everything in between. So grab your drink of choice and let's dive in.
I am so excited for this conversation today. I have the beautiful Tiffany here. Hi, Tiffany.
Hi, Moore. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm so honored that you're here, and I'm really excited for this conversation because I think and feel that what you're going to share with us is going to be so enlightening to so many women listening. So, how about you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you do?
Sure. So my name is Tiffany Lee. I am the owner of the spa Viva Cryo. We're located in New York City, in the Flatiron area, and we specialize in body contouring and anti-aging laser treatments. So non-invasive, non-surgical means to transform the body.
I love that. And I wanted you to come here and speak today because I feel like after you get married and that honeymoon phase kind of drifts away, you get pregnant, you have kids, a lot of women don't feel as sexy in their bodies anymore. Their body has changed. And I feel like this conversation can really open our eyes to new technologies that are out there that maybe we don't know about. And I was really excited for you to share about this with our listeners because we want women to feel sexy again. We want women to have sex with their husbands and have those intimate relationships. And so maybe you can share a little bit about what are these technologies? What can they do for us? What can they do for our bodies?
Sure. Well, at Viva Cryo, for instance, we offer a bevy of different modalities to transform the body. Well, first off, we offer technologies such as cryo, LED and infrared, ultrasonic cavitation, so radio frequency, as well as electromuscle stimulation. So there's a whole bunch of different ways that we can, sort of make changes on the body. And there's also combinations of these treatments as well that tend to work the best. So we offer everything from just one type of treatment to bespoke type treatments for our clients. So we'll put together special packages for clients depending on what their issues are, or where their concerns are with their bodies.
So what is cryo exactly? Like, what does that mean when you say that?
So a cryo is cold. It's just a cold treatment. So when we perform cold treatments with our machines anyways, we have an award-winning machine called the Cryo T-Shock. And so what the Cryo T-Shock does is it provides skin tightening, cellulite reduction, and body fat reduction, but it also provides anti-aging related things as well. So we're talking about like getting rid of wrinkles and pulling up the skin, giving you a nice lift, things of that nature, lymphatic drainage. So there's so many things just with cryo that we can do, but it's basically a cold treatment that it can go to 8 degrees Celsius for your face, but it can be in the negatives up to -8 degrees Celsius for the body. And that's if we're going to perform a body fat reduction. But the wonderful thing about this is it's very safe. And with the lasers that we use, we provide lymphatic drainage with those treatments, so that you can do things like freeze a fat cell and then get it moving out quicker on its way than other types of cold machines or cold technologies out there. So, but our machines are very versatile. So just with cryo alone, there's so many different things that we can do. We can even do pain management for clients who have sore muscles and pains in different areas. So I've clients for things like arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, just overuse. So we have a lot of clients that are athletes actually. And then just if you have just a little bit of soreness or TMJ even, I mean we've treated many different types of conditions, but we can also just help when it's just very sore from a workout, for instance. So many different things that we can do just with cryo alone. And I've seen some beautiful, wonderful changes within my clients just from that technology alone.
That sounds amazing. So if we have a listener right now listening and she's like, well, I live far away from New York, and how do I, maybe you can share some tips of things that we can start doing at home to help us feel sexy again in our body.
Sure. Well, it depends, right? Okay, so if you just had a baby, for instance, you're not going to want to get any type of body contouring right away, just because if you're breastfeeding, you need a certain amount of time before you can, because when you do a procedure, basically the any nature that we get rid of is in the form of toxins that it moves through your lymphatic system. And so anything that moves through your lymphatic system is in danger of being the breast milk. So we always recommend that you haven't been breastfeeding for at least 2 to 3 months. After that, you should be good to go. But anyone who is sort of wanting to have, say, tighter skin, for instance, we recommend things like serums, vitamin E oil, things like that, compression garments. And you can buy these things on Amazon. I think it's really great for people to pay attention to something like hyaluronic acid serum. You can get a brand, and they have really wonderful brands just on a place like Amazon. So, and almost everybody's on Amazon. So you can just, they usually don't cost more than $20, $25. $35, I would say that's the range that you can go into if you're, on a budget. That's typically a decent brand. And then you can buy compression garments, which cost about the same thing, and you can put it on the body parts of concern, and that can actually help you to tighten your skin. Jade rollers are also a great thing to do. I actually tell my clients to put them in the freezer, take them out, and just roll them on the areas of concern. So you should be able to help things like the stretch marks and the crepey skin to sort of come back together over time. And another really important thing for everybody: water, hydration. Always stay hydrated. You want to make sure that you're getting at least gallon a day. And that sounds like a lot of water, but it's actually not a lot of water. In body contouring, we ask our clients to drink 1.5 gallons because they have to drink 2 liters before their appointment. And then we ask them to drink 1 gallon afterwards, just so that we can clear out their lymphatic system. But also it creates a lot of wonderful changes. It's great for your skin. And so if you have an issue like skin tightening, then this is a wonderful way to bring it back to life. Obviously, our treatments are wonderful. They're the best. But if you don't have access to our types of services, this is something that you can do. You can also find radio frequency, that in ultrasonic cavitation. That tends to be another really good way to tighten skin, as well as something called microcurrent. We offer that in our facility, but there's places, I'm sure, outside that can offer a decent deal if you don't live in the New York City area, for sure. But there's a lot of different ways to skin a cat. And another thing is to probably stay out of the sun. If you don't want an area if you don't want that area to sag, for the skin to sag, you're dehydrating the skin by staying out in the sun. So you have to be aware of things like that. And then in terms of your health, body fat reduction, cellulite reduction, I always tell my clients lymphatic drainage, get lymphatic drainage massages. That's another great way. Anything that brings circulation and life back to the skin and the muscles is always helpful. And then, of course, your diet, exercising, that's always going to help when it comes to maintaining your weight or losing weight, as well as, changing cellulite on the skin. So again, we have wonderful machines that will help that, but if you don't have access to them, just garbage in, garbage out, right? So just don't eat more than what you produce or what your output is calorically. Work out, so I hate to be so general about it, but it's always a good combination, I think, for women, especially after they've had children, of what's enough weightlifting, so anaerobic activity, and then aerobic activity. So they should be doing some as well. That was long-winded, but that answered your question.
I love it. I think it's great because, on my end, I I've just heard of like surgical, like plastic surgery, like to get like the mommy bod after you have children, to uplift your boobs and to tighten your stomach. So what you're talking about is, I think, is amazing, and probably sharing new light on technology that we maybe some of us aren't aware of. I know it's in your world and it's so around you, but maybe other people haven't heard of it. Like I haven't heard of it. So it sounds really interesting, especially because it sounds like you don't have to do surgery. So what does a process like that look like? You're talking about these machines, you just like, is it kind of like a tanning salon? That's how I'm envisioning it in my head. So like, what does that look like actually?
Yeah, we are a little bit more hands-on with our clients. Again, we use the Cryo T-Shock, which has this instrument called a Peltier wand. So that wand is a metal piece, and and it's probably about this big. And what we do is we'll cover about I would say about a piece of paper, and in that area of coverage, what we do is, again, we provide a heat treatment first to sort of move any toxic nature that's there first. um, we will move that out with the heat treatment for a couple of minutes. Then we move into the cold part of the treatment, and that's where the change is affected. What happens is we bring and rush all this blood flow, right? Cleans the area out. So then it's kind of like a microscope almost for the laser to see how we can correct these issues. And then the cold constricts all that blood flow so that the area has time to heal. That's what we're doing when we're placing cold temperatures on that part of the body. And so it'll either freeze the fat cells, or it will actually force collagen to reproduce, or it'll do the combination of the two when it's a cellulite treatment. And so we'll perform that treatment, and we are performing it the entire time. We are moving the wand, we are sculpting you. So the wonderful thing about that is that we're not just placing a machine on you and leaving. We have to provide, care, and pay attention and take a look at exactly where the client needs the smoothing of the skin, but also to lose, some reduce the fat. So we are much more hands-on than, say, a cool sculpting machine, for instance, where you just put it on them and it's one and done. We have to pay attention and actually, like artists, sculpt the body.
Wow.
And so love about it is because I feel like an artist when I'm doing this, and my technicians do as well. So once that part of the treatment, finishes, then we move back into a heat session for a couple of minutes, and that heat moves all that toxic nature out. We're healing the area, and now we're rushing that all out to move towards a place called your lymphatic system. And then it'll just leave naturally, like it would through, your urine output, through breathing, things of that nature. So, yeah, it's natural in that sense because it mimics what your body would do. But the wonderful thing about it is it's targeted towards that specific area. So we have everything from body fat reduction to skin tightening, cellulite reduction for our, new mommies, or mommies who just haven't been able to get rid of, that pouch. But yes, with enough sessions, we can give you your perfect body. It depends on your budget and, the effort that you're going to make on your part to come in, and your dedication to your treatments. So, and
And how long does a treatment like that last?
Well, it depends. So skin tightening, for instance, is something that would be permanent, up until, but the thing is that your skin, we cannot help your skin from oxidizing and changing, or if you're going on, or if you decide to have another child, for instance, we can't help those things. So normally, if you don't do anything different, it should last. You may a while for a pick me up, but generally, as long as you've done enough treatments, it should last. For body fat reduction, we do permanently get rid of fat cells. However, your body turns over new cells every 7 to 8 years, so we cannot help that your body does that. So if you have any dietary changes or things that happen, like we can't help that, but we do permanently destroy the fat cells that we are putting the laser on at the time. So those cells are permanently gone. And that's the thing about surgery, right? Because if you get surgery, right, will get surgery and they have scars, they look great, and then they always come into my office and say, that's about 8 years, 10 years, and I don't know why, but it came back because we develop new fat cells over time.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you have a good if you have a good hold on your diet and exercise plan, then it shouldn't be a big deal. But yeah, there are going to be people that they do develop these new fat cells. But yes, do we permanently destroy fat cells in our facility? Yes, we do. Do we do it with cryo? Yes. Do we do it with other modalities as well? Absolutely. So cryo's not the only
I
way.
love that.
Yeah.
So what would you say is is there like an average amount of sessions that someone can, like, let's say, as a busy mom, I have such a crazy schedule, right? So if I want to try technology, I'm like, okay, how long is it going to take me? How long is each session going to be? How many sessions am I going to need? Like, how would you plan something like that? Or is it pretty much intuitive to each body their own?
Everybody is different, right? But we generally recommend about 6 sessions for cryo in order to get down a body part for one dress size. Okay. For in that particular area, right? So that's kind of generally for cryo. If we were to use ultrasonic cavitation and LED, it's a combination treatment I use called Quick Sculpt that I developed. That is about 6 to 8, maybe even 10 treatments, but it comes off very quickly and you can do it every 3 days. So it's a very effective treatment. And then we have other types of combination treatments. I have this cryo LED combination treatment that we use, and we say, if you want a lot off, you will get a lot off with 8 sessions. So that'll be over one size in 8 sessions, maybe almost 2 sizes, because and that's permanent, it's lasting, and has a lot of benefits, but it works very quickly. So yeah, I would say, I guess we're in the gamut of between 6 and 10 treatments, depending on the type of service that you'd like to use. And then we can help transform you.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. I think this is really eye-opening. So if our listeners want to find you, where can they find you and more about you, what you do, information?
So they can find Viva Cryo at in the Flatiron, the Nomad area of Manhattan. We're located at 121 West 27th Street between 6th and 7th Avenue. And we're on the 3rd floor. So, you can always come and find us. They can also give us a call at 917-809-0723. And they can find us on Instagram at Viva Cryo, all one word. Or they can find us on TikTok, again, Viva Cryo, Facebook, Viva Cryo. We have a website as well, vivacryo.com. So we're around. Us, where you can find us.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for being here and for your time, for shedding some light on this cool technology. And I'm really honored that you were here and part of this conversation. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for having me. It was lovely to meet you. And I look forward to seeing you and all your listeners. And have a good one.
Thank you for listening to today's episode. If this was a contribution to you, please share, like, love, and comment. I would love to hear from you more, and make sure to follow us on Morph Healing. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and remember, you are here for a reason. I see you. Love, more.